Key points is 1. What is version? 2. Android versions and description. What is version? In the context of software or technology, a version refers to a specific release or iteration of a product. It is a way to differentiate between different stages of development or updates to a software, application, or operating system. Versions are typically denoted by numbers or alphanumeric codes. The numbering system varies depending on the product and the company developing it. Often, a version number consists of a sequence of digits separated by periods, e.g., 1.0, 2.5, 3.1, where each number represents a different level of change or improvement. Here's a general understanding of the common conventions used in version numbering. Major version. The first number in a version sequence typically represents a major release with significant changes, new features, or a major overhaul of the software. For example, moving from version 1.0 to version 2.0. Minor version. The second number in a version sequence usually indicates a minor release that introduces new features or functionality but maintains backward compatibility with previous versions. For example, moving from version 1.1 to version 1.2. Patch version. The third number in a version sequence, also known as the patch or revision number, is typically incremented for small updates, bug fixes, or security patches that do not introduce major new features. For example, moving from version 1.2.1 to version 1.2.2. In addition to these conventions, some software may use additional qualifiers or labels, such as alpha, beta, release candidate, RC, or stable, to indicate the development stage or stability level of a particular version. It's worth noting that versioning is not limited to software alone. It can also be used in other contexts, such as hardware, protocols, and standards, to distinguish different iterations or revisions. Android versions and description? Sure. Here is an overview of the different versions of the Android operating system along with brief descriptions. Android 1.0, Alpha and Beta, the initial version of Android, released in September 2008. It provided basic smartphone functionality, including web browsing, email, and camera support. Android 1.5 Cupcake, released in April 2009, Cupcake introduced several features such as an on-screen keyboard, video recording, and the ability to upload videos directly to YouTube. Android 1.6 Donut, released in September 2009, Donut brought improvements like support for different screen sizes, the ability to search through text messages, and the introduction of the quick search box. Android 2.0.1 Eclair, released in October 2009, Eclair introduced significant updates, including an improved user interface, support for multiple accounts, a revamped camera app, and support for live wallpapers. Android 2.2 Froyo, released in May 2010, Froyo brought features like USB tethering, Wi-Fi hotspot functionality, support for Adobe Flash in the browser, and performance improvements. Android 2.3 Gingerbread, released in December 2010, Gingerbread focused on refining the user interface, improving gaming performance, introducing support for near-field communication, NFC, and adding support for front-facing cameras. Android 3.0 1/3.2 Honeycomb. These versions were specifically designed for tablets and were released between February and July 2011. Honeycomb introduced a tablet-optimized interface, improved multitasking, and support for hardware acceleration. Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. Released in October 2011, Ice Cream Sandwich merged the smartphone and tablet versions of Android, providing a unified user interface. It introduced features like face unlock, resizable widgets, and improved notifications. Android 4, 1/4, 2/4.3 Jelly Bean. Released between July 2012 and July 2013, Jelly Bean focused on performance improvements, smoother user interface animations, expandable notifications, and introduced features like Google Now and Project Butter. Android 4.4 KitKat. Released in October 2013, KitKat aimed to optimize Android for devices with lower hardware specifications. It introduced a new immersive mode, better support for cloud storage, and the introduction of OK Google voice command. Android 5.0 5.1 Lollipop. Released between November 2014 and March 2015, Lollipop brought a complete visual overhaul called Material Design, enhanced notifications, multi-user support, and improved battery life through Project Volta. Android 6.0 Marshmallow. Released in October 2015, Marshmallow introduced features like granular app permissions, a new power-saving feature called DOS, native fingerprint support, and USB Type-C compatibility. Android 7.0.7.1 Nougat. Released between August 2016 and December 2016, Nougat introduced features like split-screen multitasking, improved notifications, direct reply from notifications, and a new JIT compiler for faster app installations and updates. Android 8.0.8.1 Oreo. Released between August 2017 and December 2017, Oreo brought features such as picture-in-picture mode, notification dots, adaptive icons, improved battery life through background limits, and Project Treble for faster updates. Android 9 Pie. Released in August 2018, Pie introduced a gesture-based navigation system, adaptive battery and brightness, app actions, digital well-being features, and improved security and privacy options. Android 10. Released in September 2019, Android 10 focused on providing enhanced privacy controls, system-wide dark mode, gesture navigation refinements, a new live caption feature, and improved support for foldable devices. Android 11. Released in September 2020, Android 11 introduced features like conversation notifications, chat bubbles, screen recording, wireless Android Auto support, and improvements to privacy and security. Android 12. Released in October 2021, Android 12 brought a major visual redesign called Material You, enhanced privacy features, faster auto-rotate, improved haptics, and new tools for developers. Please note that this list covers the main versions of Android up until my knowledge cutoff in September 2021. Newer versions may have been released since then.